So I want to correct something that I said in my previous video reflecting on AOC's speech that was incorrect, and I apologize for that. And that is that I implied that she seconded the nomination of Bernie Sanders by choice. She didn't do that. Let's start with what is actually the truth before we dive into the takeaway from how the media completely botched this. So the truth is that she was invited by specifically Bernie Sanders to formally second the nomination of Bernie Sanders. So what happens is that when a candidate reaches when a presidential candidate reaches a certain delegate threshold in the Democrat primary, then during the convention, their nomination is there are speakers invited to call for the nomination of any candidate, whoever it is that reaches a delegate threshold. So Bernie Sanders was given two time slots. And one, I can't remember the first speaker for Bernie Sanders, but there are two slots. One went to one speaker that I don't remember, and the other went to AOC. And that's really all there is to it. She was invited to second the nomination of Bernie Sanders. So what do you expect her to do? She's going to second the nomination of Bernie Sanders. So there's really just no reason to criticize her for doing what she procedurally has to do. That's totally unreasonable. You might as well criticize a blind man for not being able to read. It's dumb. And the media should be ashamed of themselves. Especially NBC News, which came out with the headline as soon as she gave the speech. American journalism is awful. They make a profit out of basically lying to the public, and a lot of these journalists that did that essentially knew what they were doing. The conventions have happened for years, and nominations have been seconded for candidates who didn't win for years. So journalists again knew what they were doing when they totally botched the story. They did it for ratings, just quick short-term gain. No responsibility with their jobs. Journalism as we know it is dead. There's no good mainstream journalism outlet anymore. They all suck. So that's why I'm here on YouTube shouting into a void. Because mainstream journalism as we know it is dying, and we need independent media. We need independent voices. And that's kind of the takeaway from what happened there. And there's really a lot of takeaways. I think that I think another thing we can take away from this is how weak and irrelevant to the conversation, as I said before, that the Democratic Party is. That what makes airwaves isn't even what prominent Biden supporters are saying, because who cares? Nobody cares. They don't stand for anything. What makes airwaves is what AOC does, and what's crazy, I'll link you a video done by David Doel, Rational National, that goes into more detail about this. But AOC wasn't even invited by the Biden campaign, and that's kind of damning. They want to cancel the left. It's the left has to do everything to compromise everything, all their values to support Joe Biden, or else we're enabling Trump, and we're the cancel culture people. But they're canceling us. That's what they're doing. They're not giving the squad. Nobody in the squad was invited. In spite of how prominent their voice is on the left, they brought on Republicans who stand for nothing, and even Kasich, who is a boon to women's rights, and women's lives for that matter, his whole career. And I'm not saying he should be canceled over that. But I'm making a point that there's no principle. The Democrats are totally selective. They're selective with who they're outraged by. They'll pick Republicans when it personally benefits them, even though they bomb overseas countries and they screw over their own base. There's no principle anymore to anything. The media, the establishment party, and it's just upsetting. It's just depressing. And we just gotta keep moving. We just gotta keep going. And again, if you want more information and actual independent voices that care about telling the truth, listen to I'll link you David Doel, a great journalist. He's from Canada, but some of the best coverage of American politics, honestly, that I've seen. Yes, it does have a left-wing bias, but he makes an effort to be honest with his content, as opposed to these clowns in the mainstream that are just no good and don't own up to any mistakes that they make. And it's the same at the local level. And that's a video for another day. So let's just keep at it and don't fall into the media smears.